APIA last week at least, so I've seen them now.
I was supposed to do them against NSW, but I got given the wrong details. So I rock up to Lambert Park, and it was all chained up, and I find out that was all cancelled.
You're cancelled. That's not... Because it's not finished yet. The plan was for it to be finished early in the season. It's nearly finished. So yeah, hate it with the fans, because they did a home game slot late, so they made it a Sydney FC home game just to get it late.
Input.
This shit's so dodgy, man. That's not... Yeah, I still can't hear anything out of my headphones. It's not...
I can hear you now. Yeah, that's better. What did you do there?
I just switched my headphone output, but I think that's picking up my headphones because I've got a mic on mine.
Okay. Alright, so let's sort out the so you've got an XLR from the income and mixing that
Import one, yeah.
Which is just the same as goes into
Input two, yes.
on the handle, on the opposite side to the installers, the switch in the middle is to on, correct?
Sorry?
The switch in the middle on the handle is set to on.
Yeah, on that side.
September, March, and August.
Okay. Just go test it, or? Okay, no worries. So, testing, 1, 2, about to go live from Macquarie Park, round 15, NPL Men's New South Wales. It's good? Okay, that's good. Well, it's the time of year when you have to give up on the iced coffees and head straight for the mockers or the long blacks or anything that's warm, because it's absolutely freezing here. But thanks for joining us. Round 15 action from NPL Men's New South Wales action for the 2024 season. And if I'm talking about the cold, there's only one place I can be, a Spirit home game, because they don't call this place the Arctic Circle for no reason. Eric Subihana here on the mic, and absolutely delighted to be here for Northwest Sydney Spirit versus APIA Leichhardt. And for Spirit, as they are in a very intense battle to get away from the bottom two positions in NPL Men's New South Wales. Tonight they have one of the toughest tests in the competition, because APIA Leichhardt have been absolutely on fire in attack. 5 consecutive wins in all competitions, and they have scored, I think, 23 goals in those 5 games. So Franco Parisi's men certainly going to be a tough test for the home team this evening. Let's take you through the lineups. Firstly, for Spirit, in goal, number 1, Chris Marquez. Then number 3, Kyle Shaw. Number 4, Jared McKinley. Number 7, Richard Darko. Number 8, the captain, Grant Cornwell. Number 10, Michael Conestabo. Number 11, Ollie Wigan. Number 13, Simon Nicholas. Number 16, Ante Bakmaz. Number 17, Jacob Chidiak. And number 20, Jared Lum. Spirit are coached by David Perkovich. Now for APIA Leichhardt, we think they'll line up in a 4-3-3 formation. By the way, it wasn't game to guess the Spirit formation. I'll have to try and figure that out on the go. But anyway, for the visitors, in goal, number 1, Anthony Bazanis. Then we're expecting a back four, so from left to right, number 16, Sean Simmons. Number 4, Josh Simmons. Number 15, Temple Muatamalo. And number 23, Dakota Askew. 3 in the APIA midfield. Number 18, the captain, Adrian Aquino. Number 22, Eddie Caspers. And number 11, Rory Jordan. And the 3 up front for APIA. Number 7, Jack Stewart. Number 9, Ben Gibson, their top scorer with 12 goals for the season. And number 17, Jordan Segreto. So traditional kits for both. Spirit in the colours of the old Gladesville Hornsby Soccer Association, the gold jerseys with the black shorts. While for APIA Leichhardt, it's their famous maroon jerseys with the sky blue shorts. By the way, shout out to the third team, the match officials. Stephen Lucas is in the centre with the whistle for tonight's game. The assistant nearest to us is Reese Edwards. The assistant on the scoreboard side of the Arctic Circle is Jared Young. And tonight's fourth official, who's going to stand there and get colder and colder and colder as tonight's action goes on. But stay as warm as you can, Blake Sanchez Cruz. So there we go, and in fact we'll have a little bit of a delay. Chris Marquez, Spirit keeper, actually just pointing out that the net to the right of our filming position, at you might call it the canteen end of this ground, it needs a little bit more fixing, because the officials are not quite happy with that. So I might take this chance to go through the 2 sets of substitutes. So for Spirit, their backup keeper is Joel Wade. The others are Jacob Sullivan, Zachary Chianchi, Luis Lobo, Noah Peacock, and Kyle Williams. While for APIA Leichhardt, their backup keeper is Alexander Parks. And the other options available to come off the bench later on, if need be, Nicholas Atzone, Michael Kuda, Jack Armson, Alex Denmead, and Luigi Di Troia. And as I said earlier, APIA Leichhardt, coached in his second season as the coach of the club. It's a club legend. What a player he was, by the way. That is, of course, Franco Parisi. So is that net, well, still unhappy. By the way, I've made my first mistake of the evening, because that's actually at the end guarded by Anthony Bazanis, not Chris Marquez. My apologies. But we might go through results, because we've already had 2 games in this round 15 of NPL Men's New South Wales. 2 Friday night fixtures, so at Illingdon Sports Centre, Sydney FC 1, Sydney Olympic 3. Another great call by the Serbian Martin Tyler Nikola Pozda from Rockdale. And actually, you might have seen on the socials already, a spectacular free kick, one of those Olympic goals coming from Teng Kuol. The other Friday night game was at a venue famous, or well known for its fog at this time of the year, Plume Park. Central Coast Mariners 1, Rockdale Illingdon 2. And speaking of top class commentators, it was at Plume Park, so of course that one was called by the voice of Central Coast football, Pete Pryor. And now is, I think, everything is to the satisfaction of the officials. There's the whistle. Away we go. Spirit going from left to right as we see things. And they go direct. There's a strong aerial win from Josh Simmons, and a bit of an early sore one for Jacob Chidiak, I think that is number 17. Jared Lum, who does have a good long throw on him. Instead, he decides to leave it for Grant Cornwell, who will, well, get a couple of false starts here. Now we back underway with Richard Darko. Sent into the crowd by Sean Simmons. Sean Simmons, who's given great value to this competition over so many years. Normally an attack, now something a little bit new for the APIA number 16. He's at left back, but I'm sure we'll see him overlap many, many times over the course of this game. There's Jared Lum with a long throw. Flick, I think, from, well, Shaw was trying to help it on. And then the long-range shot from Conestabo, it goes wide. So this is the earliest of the kickoffs today on a Saturday, and we've got another 5 games coming up for you later this evening, so you're certainly spoiled for choice after this game is done, because of course you're going to hang around and watch the whole of this game, aren't you? But yes, there's 3 7 p.m. kickoffs. Firstly, it's the first ever derby at Landon Stadium in top-tier men's competition. Hills United versus Blacktown City at Landon Stadium. Also at 7 p.m, Western Sydney Wanderers versus Marconi Stallions. And another derby, actually, St George FC versus Sutherland Sharks. Then 2 7:15 p.m. kickoffs. So Manly United versus Wollongong Wolves is at 7:15 p.m, as is St George City versus Sydney United 58. And of course, we're absolutely in the thick of the action. This is the final round of the first half of the men's season, if that makes sense, as Sean Simmons goes for distance off the throw. Good header from Cornwell. Because we're near the halfway stage in the women's competition as well, and Spirit really making the Saturday 3 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. slots their own, as the club for the second year in a row is doing men's and women's double headers on most of their Saturday match days. So there was a women's game before this one. It didn't go quite so well for the home side. Illawarra Stingrays came here and defeated the Spirit women's team by 2-1. Late winner coming from the penalty spot in that game by former Spirit player Siobhan Edwards. And also in that women's game before this one, another excellent call from someone who's been a great addition to this commentary team, as it's sent forward and out for Cornwell. Tries to send it back towards Chidiac, who appears to be at the point of the Spirit attack this evening. But yes, the women's game before this one, more great commentary from someone in her first year in the commentary team, Annabelle Banfield. She also writes some articles for Football New South Wales. As the cross comes in, and that's out of reach for Rory Jordan. But so shout out to you, Annabelle, a commentator, a writer for Football New South Wales, and as if she wasn't busy enough, she also plays in the under-20 team at Interlions. So young Annabelle certainly keeping herself busy. And it's going to be tough to. Annabelle's commentary is certainly a tough act to follow. I will try my best. As that's played forward and over Chidiac. Josh Simmons cushioning it for Machino. Long range shot, and I think Marquez started to move his feet, but then in the end realized that was going to be relatively comfortable. Yes, as I said at the top of the broadcast, Spirit trying to make more room between themselves and the bottom two. They're in 12th place with 12 points as we head into this round 15. But there's certainly plenty of opportunity over the remaining 16 rounds to make up some ground. There's a lot of teams, a cluster of teams in and around Northwest Sydney Spirit. That's Ollie Wigan, his first chance to run at the defence. Who shifts it onto his left, back onto the right, and the no backlift cross, which goes through everyone. I think that might be the first touch into the gloves for Anthony Buzanes. Now, quick kick looking for Ben Gibson, who's quite pacey, quite energetic, but never met a central defender who didn't like shepherding, and Kyle Shaw has done that very well. Of course, Spirit, it's been tricky in some sense, their second season in the top tier of men's football for New South Wales. As Darko looks for options and in the end picks the safety pass back to Cornwell, who then goes back to Marquez, but goes across to Simon Nicholas. And now Nicholas, and it almost stuck that ball in behind Dakota Askew, who's rocking the short sleeves and gloves combination. tonight. Well, as long as he has the gloves, because it's quite cold here. Now APIA on the move. Here's Jordan, tries to cushion it. And another shot that goes wide. It's actually pretty good technique. I mean, not the power he wanted there from Jordan. But it's the kind of ones that are slightly awkward height where if you try for too much power, you just send it into outer space. So I think Jordan, not quite the accuracy, but at least he had the right idea that time. Now Marquez decided he'll go long for this goal kick. Yes, and as I said, Spirit in the clutch of teams at the bottom of the table, but 7 days ago, a crucial 1-0 victory over Wollongong Wolves. It was Jesse Michelle with the second half winner in that one. Michelle not in the matchday squad this evening. 3 very valuable points, very welcome points for David Perkovic and all the team here at Macquarie Park. There's Rory Jordan beats Jacob Chidiak to the ball. And so, actually, one of those interesting statistical quirks that Spirit have now beaten Wollongong Wolves at this ground for 3 years in a row. 2 years ago, they beat them on penalties to qualify for the Australia Cup round of 32. As Jordan looks for options. And it's flicked up, and that's Grant Cornwell. Now, I think that's APIA assistant coach David DePuzzo. He seems like he would bet his house on that being a back pass, but and it's the officials who make the final call, and so we'll go on. Caspers dispossessed by Darko. So, by the way, reminds me, good venue for those of you that are plane spotters, because you can see planes flying overhead at least from this side of the ground. That'll be the first of many we see this evening. And now Darko gets the touch off Jordan and be a throw-in right in front of the scaffold here. Right, yes, as I said earlier, Spirit beat Wollongong Wolves on this at this ground 3 years in a row. Beat them to qualify for the Australia Cup round of 32 2 years ago, and last year a game that I will never ever forget, because Spirit down 4-2 in the 89th minute against Wollongong Wolves on April Fool's Day 2023 and won 5-4. Jared Lum trying the diagonal to Darko. This is the kind of situation he likes. So he's up against Sean Simmons in a test of the RPL left back's defensive abilities. More players coming though, and it's great work from Simmons. Cornwell. Now it's a decent first touch from Connor Starbo. Now Wigan, and the defending there. Is that possibly Segretto? And then Jack Stewart trying to take it the other way. But it's well marshalled by Simon Nicholas. Okay, so second thing I've got wrong. Well, slightly the APIA formation. Look at that. Looks like Jordan Segretto's in the midfield 3 alongside Machino and Caspers. So Rory Jordan is in attack. He's out wide on the left. And Rory Jordan's in the APIA attack with Ben Gibson and Jack Stewart. So as Carl Shaw plays it to Cornwell. The Spirit skipper. Nice touch to get away from Jordan. Now looking for Chidiak. Physical battle with Josh Simmons, and that's excellent shepherding and use of the body from Josh Simmons, using all of his experience to protect the APIA goal there. And yeah, well, I mean, no rest for anyone out there, at least for the time being. Anthony Bizanis getting it going again very quickly from the goal kick. 10 minutes played here in Macquarie Park. You're watching NPL Men's New South Wales Round 15 action, and it's currently Spirit 0, APIA 0. Now that's worked out, I think, for Caspers, and now Caspers to Jordan, but Jordan's moved a little bit too early, and the flag's up from Jared Young on the far side. So I mentioned earlier APIA's 5 wins in a row in all competitions, so you look at this for a line of results. Defeating Rockdale 3-2, then defeating Central Coast Prem side Berkeley Vale 5-0 in cup action, then a 6-0 win over the Wanderers Academy, a 7-1 win over Sydney FC Academy, and last weekend, a game I was on the mic for, a 2-1 victory over Hills United. many, many goals scored by APIA Leichhardt this season. This man, Rory Jordan, putting the pressure on. He scored 5 of them this season. There's 5 in the league. I did think about, when I was tallying up their goal scorers, I only did the league goals for APIA to make it a little bit easier for myself, because earlier in the season they defeated, actually I'll hold that thought as the cross comes in, and safety first from Cornwall behind for the first corner of the evening, which goes to APIA. But yes, in APIA's first cup game for this year, they defeated Hazelbrook from the Nepean Association 19-1. So yeah, I didn't really feel like doing the data entry for 24 cup goals. 19 against Hazelbrook and 5 against Berkeley Vale. So yeah, I'll just talk about these players' league goals tonight, because there's certainly been plenty of those. Ben Gibson leading the way with 12 for APIA in the league this season. And of course, he'll be in the mix trying to make it a lucky 13 from this corner kick. In swinger to the far post. Marquez couldn't quite get the punch in. Josh Simmons has sent it over. That's clearly by far the best chance of the game, and it's gone over. And Josh Simmons trying to, I think, actually no, that would have been his first goal of the season, had he found it at the back of the net. So I mentioned Australia Cup action, and both of these two teams, actually, we like to talk about the whole of clubs to acknowledge more than just men's first grade, but the cup competitions in both the Australia Cup for the men and the Sapphire Cup for women, they've been going very well for both Spirit and APIA, as Casper's stopped on the edge of the box by Cornwell. And then, actually, Stephen Lucas will decide to play advantage. Now one for Contestabo to chase in that touch. And from Josh Simmons, did enough to wrong foot Contestabo. It's great to see Michael Contestabo back after injury, by the way. And so it was Simmons' central defensive partner, Muatamala, who played it to Rory Jordan that time. Now APIA trying to press. Cornwell with a switch, doesn't find Wigan. It makes its way to Muatamalo. Askew. Now Stewart. And that's Jack Stewart, who's a great long-distance shot and can whip in a good ball as well. But it's an unusual one from Stewart, not quite getting it right that time, the contact, but does get it right more often than not. The APIA number 7 has 7 goals for the season. Now, Shaw, Cornwell, Contestabo, pressed by Uchino. So it needed a tackle from Buckmars and another tackle from Contestabo, which is not to Stephen Lucas's liking. So APIA free kick. They might try to lob one into the box. Let's see. Temba Muatamala stayed in halfway, so I think they might not go direct. I think they'll go short with Josh Simmons to his brother Sean, and we'll go on again. Now, the cross, it's drifting away from everyone. So, as we get to the quarter-hour mark here, as Spirit and APIA both through to round 6 of the Australia Cup qualifier. Spirit getting there with a 4-1 win and a tricky away trip to the South Coast, beating Albion Park White Eagles from Illawarra Premier League 4-1. And then as that will go over Richard Darko, Spirit in a quite unusual cup game that had to be played over 2 parts because Spirit's round 5 cup tie against Dulwich Hill the pitch became waterlogged with the score at 1-1 and about 15 minutes to go. So, and that when it became waterlogged, they were playing at Fraser Park, and I know what you're thinking. Eric, isn't Fraser Park synthetic? Yeah, it got waterlogged anyway. Don't ask me why. But they actually had to come back and play the rest of the tie. That was on Tuesday, and they played the remainder of the game at Arlington Oval, and Spirit prevailed 3-2 in extra time over Dulwich Hill, so that's why the men from the Arctic Circle are through to round 6 of the Cup, and on Tuesday the 28th of this month they've got an away Cup game against Sydney Olympic. APIA's next Cup game, their reward for putting many goals past Hazelbrook and beating Berkeley Vale 5-0. Their round 6 Cup game is at home, or their temporary home at least, Leichhardt Oval, on Wednesday, when they face Blacktown Spartans from League One Men's. Now Jordan finds the run of Segreto. And then, well, almost Casper's making the late run. Darko followed him though. But APIA looking to put the pressure on. And Jordan, little dink towards Segreto, who stayed out wide. And Segreto sees a lot of gold jerseys in front of him. Ficino, the captain, plays out wide to Askew. Spirit technical area insistent that there be no cross coming into the box. Askew gets one in there anyway, and, well, needed defensive header from Shaw, and then the long-range effort is over the big net. And nothing to trouble Chris Marquez. Geez, I also look ahead to these fixtures, upcoming fixtures for these two teams. So yes, Spirit, on Friday the 24th, they have an away trip to Illingdon Sports Centre to take on the Sydney FC Academy. That's Friday the 24th. Then the aforementioned Cup game on Tuesday the 28th, away to Sydney Olympic. And then on the 1st of June, can you believe it, June's almost here, Spirit will be back here at Macquarie Park to play Sutherland Sharks. As there's Jordan up against 2, and the 2 win out for Spirit. Cornwell, as Achino tries to make his presence felt. Simmons with the good block tackle on Darko. Coming up for APIA, yes, I mentioned that Wednesday's Cup game at Leichhardt Oval against Blacktown Spartans, then a massive one on Saturday 25th of May. And APIA Leichhardt have a home game against Blacktown City, and they'll want some measure of revenge for Blacktown beating them 6-3 in the opening round. As Segreto, it escapes everyone, and Jack Stewart will race to keep that in on the far side. Gibson. Now Gibson, and all the sting taken out of that. There's like a couple of handball shouts, but nothing too serious, nothing to worry the home side. So Chris Marquez has the ball. But yes, that Saturday, the game of Saturday the 25th, massive game as always when APIA Leichhardt play Blacktown City. It is scheduled for Lambert Park, so keep an eye on the official NPL New South Wales social channels to see if that ends up changing, because I know Lambert Park is almost ready. And the new synthetic surface is laid. They've just got to dot the I's and cross the T's, so to speak. And now it's Jack Stewart. Jack Stewart now, a good dummy from the referee, and Segreto, he'll go for goal. I think it went through a defender's legs, and Shaw plays it over the touchline, but actually they'll take it back, because I think that's an offside from whoever that APIA player was running in. Marquez with the restart. Goes long. And then good header from Watamalo. Now Bakmaz to Nicholas. Now foot in there from Segreto, but it'll stay with Spirit and with Nicholas. Tackle there from Askew up against Wigan. Now, in fact, actually we'll hold it up for just a little bit. Obviously, there's an APIA player that requires a little bit of treatment. That's apologies. That's Jordan Segredo. Stephen Lucas just checking that APIA's number 17 is okay. And now we'll go on. Cornwell. Conestabro leaves it for Darko, who needs quick feet to get away from Caspers, but the defensive structure from APIA forces him backwards. Spirit will try the left-hand side with Nicholas. And now Wigan, who's got McKinley running in beyond. And it plays the 1-2 instead with Chidiac. Almost worked out. That was looking promising for Spirit. Spirit coaching staff again insistent for the high press. Conestabro could be in here. Josh Simmons saving the day with a late lunge. And then APIA have won the free kick. I've had a chance to look at this Spirit formation a little bit more. Let's see. I do know it's always tricky with Spirit because David Perkovich, a very excellent coach, a very experienced operator, just like to mix things up from time to time. It's looking very 4-4-2 without the ball. It's that back four, yes. Yeah, Simon Nicholas at left back for Spirit. It's Carl Shaw, the man heading the ball there, alongside Ante Bakmaz in central defence. Grant Cornwell at right back, but they've noticed, and it's been the case for pretty much since the start of the 2022 season, the Spirit men's team like to move a defender out of the back line to create an extra midfielder when in possession. So Ante Bakmaz is creating the double pivot, so to speak, for Spirit this evening. We've seen him do that a few times. Now, it's actually a good effort to keep it in play, but the ball ends up with Marquez. Darko. And Darko gets the touch off Jordan for the throw-in. APIA, they're moving players closer to the side of this throw-in, putting more pressure on tonight's hosts. So Cornwell, good throw, and now McKinley. And Cornwell again sends it. Great touch from David Tuputso, still got it. Josh Simmons. Sorry, not Josh. Sean Simmons with the quick throw, and yes, the time-honored strategy. If you don't know what to do with throwing, just launch it as far as you can down the line. There, Sean Simmons gains 15 metres. Now the shorter throw, and the Conestabro tackle will result in a third throw-in in quick succession for Sean Simmons. Now, as the ball stays in this, right near a Spirit corner flag, Darko just decides to go for distance so Spirit can step up. Yep, that's at least one Spirit player insistent that the home team step up there. Another plane flies overhead. Haven't quite mastered using the flight radar up during commentary to tell you which airline is flying overhead at a particular moment. That'll come with time, as that's a nice ball from Jared Lum towards Ollie Wigan. He'll get into the left side of the box here. Wigan is the curler. It's caught. Caught by Buzanis. Buzanis, the diagonal towards Jordan. Cornwell gets there first, but that'll just end up being a goal kick. Is Chino. Trying the far side. And Spirits have one of the throw-in. Now, back on the side closest to us, and APIA not put off by the switch in the point of the attack. And the foot in there, I think, from Caspers. By the way, I think I saw Eddie's mum, Francine, before the game. She's Francine Casper's a very busy woman. Pretty sure she's here at the Arctic Circle. Yes, Casper's quite the footballing family. Holly Casper's, Eddie's older sister, doing well for the Wanderers this summer in A-League Women. Eddie's younger sister, Maddie, also doing well for Sydney FC and earning youth national team on selections as well, I believe. Now, might as well mention the other Casper sibling, Heidi, while we're at it. Now that shot goes over, and yes, I mean, it's been APIA with more of the shooting so far, but in the opening 27.5 minutes. It's nothing really that's tested Chris Marquez as of yet. Now it's Gibson pressing high. Now Stewart's pressing high as Spirit look to play out. Now, ooh, that's good use of the body from Jacob Chidiak. Spirit have a little bit of room. And now this kind of game of chess between Spirit, who, of course, at David Perkovic's side wants to play out from back as often as possible, but APIA very good at the pressing as well. Spirit making good progress though. Room for Wigan. Now, Darko, he switched sides. Richard Darko, and he digs one out towards the far post, and that will get away. It escapes the fielder play before Michael Conestabo can get to it. Gibson with the flick on off the Bazanis goal kick. Rory Jordan tried to keep it alive, and then there's a tussle with Grant Cornwell. And, well, Stephen Lucas with some game managing to do, so to speak. I think we'll get a restart in not too long, and Chris Marcus will get us back underway as well. There we go. Wigan, now on the side nearest to us. It was followed all the way by Sean Simmons, and Sean Simmons finding Rory Jordan. Now Caspers. Stewart on the far side, but as we're past the half-hour mark here, it's been very hard for any player out there to get a lot of space. Even the two goalkeepers, but here's Caspers ghosting into a nice pocket of room there, and the cross is blocked. Eddie Casper's always been impressed by his off-the-ball movement. Times his run so well. So I noticed, well, the weather, the rain's come and gone here today, and that happened in the women's game earlier this afternoon as well. As Guatemala switches it to Sean Simmons. And Duno's up in this scaffolding as well. I'll hold that thought as Sean Simmons 1-on-1 with Wigan. Combination of Wigan and Cornwell affects the clearance. So Josh Simmons decides to go back to Bazanis. APIA can start again, but yeah, just to give you a hint of the conditions out here, there's a spirit analyst on the scaffold with us, and he's using an umbrella as kind of like a makeshift shield from the rain to protect his very important laptop. That's an interesting ball. Josh Simmons had a look over the shoulder. And then Josh Simmons. And he's got ruled to have won that fairly. Now, Segredo zinged it. He had the vision to see Stewart. Not quite the accuracy to find him. Now, it's the throw. The Spirit, and it is APIA who come away with it. And in fact, I can see, might need to put the hood up on my puffer jacket again because some very light drizzle. Actually, why can't I feel it yet? It is coming in sideways. I'm sure we'll feel it soon. Thrown back to Carl Shaw. Now Cornwell. Bakmaz. And McKinley under pressure from Segredo, and Segredo did not quite get the better of McKinley, but he'll press Marquez, forced into a long clearance. That's good first touch from Chidiac. He's got three options in front of him. Chooses Darko. He's a one-on-one with Askew and has a potential passing option inside him as well, but Darko trying to go all the way himself. The two APIA defenders win out on the far side of the field. Now, Cornwell. And finding Chidiac, who dropped quite deep for the time being. Nicholas looking for Darko, and well, Bazanis didn't want to take the risk. The momentum of the ball certainly dying, and with Darko approaching, Bazanis uses the feet. Of course, keepers obviously have to be good with the feet these days. Now Sean Simmons available for the switch. It's not been seen by Askew. Martamalo, I think he did see it, but elected not to play the ball anyway, so it stays on APIA's right-hand side. Jordan, beaten by the other number 11, Ollie Wiggin, tracking back to defend. That's a feature of Ollie Wiggins' game I've always liked. He does love running at defenders, loves those mazy dribbles. As anyone who's seen him play for either Spirit or before when he was at Northern Tigers would know. Wiggin works hard in defence as well, so even though the Spirit faithful love seeing him running down the wing, I'm sure the Spirit fullback on whatever side he's playing on loves just as much the recovery runs. But speaking of needing a recovery run there, and a clean tackle, I think that was possibly Bakmaz who stopped Rory Jordan having a one-on-one opportunity. Chidiac. Wiggin dummies, and then gets it off Conestabro. Wiggin past Guatemala, and now it's, well, I think the ball was a little bit later than Conestabro would have wanted. He had to check his run to avoid being offside. Oh, still a lovely interplay from Wiggin and then Conestabro. Two players who are in the second tier for a long time. League One wins, and before that, when it was known as NPL 2 New South Wales, Grant Corn was another one of those players. Now, those three and more besides, adding plenty of value to the top tier of men's football in New South Wales. Oh, well, referee almost got in the way there, but go on. Martamalo. Back to the keeper, Bazanis. So now the diagram towards Simmons. Playing those accurately, easier said than done in this wind, and that, in fact, the wind might have played a part there, keeping the ball away, or keeping the ball away from Rory Jordan. Back to the keeper we go, and forward it goes from Marquez. The wind, I think, appears to be against Spirits are in APIA's favour for the time being, but Darko has it anyway. The turn from Chidiac, now Wigan, one-on-one with Sean Simmons. Chidiac runs in beyond, and Simmons had the sliding tackle to at least interrupt Wigan's momentum. Now it's with Dakota Askew. I was wondering what that banging sound was. That's just the door to the scaffold. All right, as long as no one's gotten hurt. Now Caspers. Sean Simmons, he's got the run from Rory Jordan, but pass was blocked by Cornwell, and then Conestabo has given away the free kick with the foul on Caspers. Free kick coming up, looks to be an in-swinger. That's a very high line from Spirit. It hits the space in behind, but Jordan Segredo does not hit any of his teammates. And it's a little win for the Spirit defence, especially given, as I said, how prolific APIA's attack has been. 44 goals in the league so far, and this is the halfway point of the season. In goal-scoring sense, APIA Leichhardt second only to the Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. What a great job done by the Wanderers Academy head coach Andrew Christensen, by the way, the man who got Central Coast Mariners promoted to the top tier, then switched to the Wanderers, now has the youngsters in red and black. Top of the table. And of course, they'll be playing soon their 7 p.m. game against Marconi Stallions. Now, a little bit of a wrestle here. Caspers has drawn another free kick. And first card of the game, it's gone to Ollie Wigan. So, sure, by understanding is, apologies if I'm wrong, that tonight's Football New South Wales reporter for this game is Liam O'Sullivan. Good Irish name that, by the way, but so Liam, just in case you're doing this remotely and listening to me, well, firstly, I'm sorry for all the terrible jokes that you're about to hear, but it's first yellow card of the game. Ollie Wigan in the 39th minute to Spirit. Yes, and you can read Liam's report and all the other match reports from NPL Men's New South Wales. The 6 games being played today, or tonight should I say, and you'll read them later tonight when they're put up on NPL New South Wales socials, the NPL New South Wales Facebook page. All the links will be there later this evening because of the tireless work done by our fearless leader, Football New South Wales media manager. Oh, this might dip. It falls for Guatemala, who then heads it to Josh Simmons, who plays it away. But yes, our fearless leader, Football New South Wales media manager, the Golden Greek, Mark Stavroulakis, doing a wonderful job as always. Yeah, he does work tirelessly during, well, he works tirelessly all the time, all times of year, but especially during the season. Sean Simmons. And Stephen Lucas happy to let things run as a player from each side hits the synthetic turf. Now, APIA trying the right side as halftime approaches. Long range shot, easy for Marquez, and must be said, APIA have had a lot of shots, but a lot of long-distance shots, and that'll please the Spirit coaching staff. APIA, I mean, if you've seen any decent amount of highlights this season, they do cut and are very capable of cutting teams open, getting those close-range opportunities, and that's why they've scored so many goals this season. But it's goalless between Spirit and APIA as we approach halftime. Conestabo cushions the header back to McKinley. Wigan back to Cornwell. Richard Darko possibly off frame, waiting to see if the ball can be switched towards him. To APIA, of course, they don't just attack, they show a great deal of endeavour in defence. That's why third as we head into this round of fixtures, only 2 points off the lead of the league in NPL Men's New South Wales. Certainly a tough test facing Spirit this evening, but in the opening 41 minutes or so, they've done it very well. That's the coldest breeze of the evening. Please send warm thoughts to myself and tonight's camera operator Nicholas. This second half is not going to be fun, but I hope wherever you're watching us, thanks for your support of the Football New South Wales YouTube page. We certainly hope you're warmer and drier than Nicholas and myself are. Guatemala to Askew. More sideways drizzle I can see being picked up by the floodlights here at the Arctic Circle. Pacino. Jack Stewart. Now, the Marseille roulette, I think from Gibson. And Gibson takes a tumble, but Stephen Lucas, who's been more than happy to let things run in this first half, sees nothing wrong with that challenge. Now, Wigan, a little pocket of space, and then the quick feet to get around Josh Simmons. He's got options either side. And then he's tried the wraparound run. Lum's attempted pass towards Wigan was blocked. Now I'll go back for an APIA free kick. Ah, yes. Time to use this plastic sleeve a friend of mine very graciously gave me last year, because it looks like my notes are about to get wet. I mean, I know it sounds like I don't use notes, but I actually do, trust me. Big diagonal coming in, and great first touch from Rory Jordan. Is Jordan, and he scored! That is absolutely magnificent from APIA's number 11. That's his 6th for the season, and the first touch really made it happen. Credit for the diagonal pass as well. Rory Jordan, an absolutely sensational first touch. The second finds the back of the net. And with halftime approaching, Spirit 0, APIA 1. Well, if you watch the APIA women's team, you'll know they've got a number 11 who scores a lot of goals. Shout out to the player they call the Queen of Blacktown, Ashley Crofts. And the APIA men's number 11, he's really good as well. Because that is the first touch you dream of. And the pass you dream of as well if you're a wide player. Because that diagonal was right on the money. Now, as Simmons tries to win in the air challenge, and I don't know, it might be a sore one for Jared Lum, but we'll go on, and Marquez playing the sweeper keeper role, and he sent that all the way onto field 2. So someone's going to need to get that stray ball, but first we're going to need to check on Jared Lum's welfare. You can see the Spirit physio, Rebecca Gonzalez, already ready to come on. In fact, yep, so treatment required for Jared Lum, a stoppage in place, so I suppose while that's going on, so Jared Lum sitting up, which is a good sign, but you know, maybe just someone also almost maybe like some kind of impact near Jared Lum's eye, so we certainly hope the Spirit number 20 is okay. But yes, well, we have this break in play, and I might just run through games coming up tomorrow in the NPL Women's New South Wales competition, which you can watch, of course, the same way you're watching this one, at the live tab on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. So I mentioned Spirit 1, Illawarra Stingrays 2 earlier today in the women's comp. So the other 6 games for round 11. Round 11? No, round 12, sorry, round 12 of the women's competition. All being played tomorrow. So, firstly, tomorrow, 4:40 p.m. from Northbridge Oval, a venue as cold as this one, if you can believe it. It's Bulls FC Academy versus MacArthur Rams, the game we like to call the Old Farm. Bulls versus Rams. Then, what do we got? 4 women's games at 5 p.m. I'll be on the mic from Cromer Park for a game between the league leaders, Manly United and Sydney University. Rematch of the 2020 Grand Final, that one, which Manly won. APIA's on the move. 1 minute of time added on, but there is, and No shot coming in from APIA because Spirit closed the space. It's good disciplined defending inside their own box. Here's Stewart, I think, that is in those brightly coloured boots. It's a great ball, and the touch. Almost impossible ball to defend into the near post from Stewart. Ben Gibson beat everyone to the ball, and it goes agonisingly across the face of goal. But Spirit do not double their lead in first half stoppage time. So there's other women's games. So the other 5 p.m. women's kickoffs tomorrow. University of New South Wales versus Northern Tigers, called by Melissa Muscat, another first-time commentator, another good commentator as well. Then Sydney Olympic versus Gladesville Ravens, called by Serbian Tyler Nikola Pozda. And also at 5 p.m. tomorrow, game called by Duckman, Matthew Austin, Blacktown Spartans versus Football New South Wales Institute. Then at 7:15 p.m. tomorrow in the women's competition, the APIA women's team, featuring the aforementioned Queen of Blacktown Ashley Crofts and many other good players. They play Emerging Jets at Valentine Sports Park number 3. There's the halftime whistle here from Stephen Lucas, and it's time for the players to get some well-deserved shelter from the rain and cold. APIA Leichhardt leaving Northwest Sydney Spirit by a 1-0, a goal coming near the end of the first half from Rory Jordan, his 6th of the season. Thanks for joining us here on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. We'll take a short break, about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half.
Yep. Yep. Testing. 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 Wait. Yep. There's a. Yeah, it's reading. Did you hear that? Okay. Yeah.
Let's leave it at that. But
Yep.
in the meantime, can you go into the menu of the camera?
Then you. Okay.
Now you understand what I mean by menu of the camera? So if you go, you look at the.
I need to find how to access it. That's the thing. Like, what button is it? Yep. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's all right. That's better. Let's go with that.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
Yeah, let's go with that and keep your phone handy if you wouldn't mind. I know it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I've got it on the table here.
Yeah, all right. So thank you. Let's go with that, and I'll get back to you after.
Easy. Okay.
It's
Thank
a bit
you.
hard now without the commentator on. So
Yeah.
all right.
All good. Yep.
Thanks, mate.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
between Spirit and APIA. Still APIA Leichhardt leading by a goal to nil. And actually a pretty fast tempo as we're here almost 6 minutes into the second half. And a couple of kind of warning shots, if that makes sense, but nothing really to threaten the two goalkeepers. And as that runs away from every Spirit player. Actually, during the technical difficulties at least, I was able to go back into the YouTube stream. Of course, you can do that while we're going live. And of course, we must give our flowers to the APIA captain, Adrian Aquino. It's his diagonal ball, which is an excellent diagonal pass, which set up Rory Jordan for the goal, which separates these two sides. That was right at the end of near the end of the first half. Spirit 0, APIA 1. And here's Nicholas. Plays it back to Marquez, and Marquez deciding first time clearance is what's required. He didn't think he was going to get a second touch. And that's a strong tackle from Connor Starbo. Now Connor Starbo through ball to Darko, and Darko beaten to it by that lunge from Josh Simmons. And Josh Simmons in there again. The Spirit look to enter the APIA Leichhardt penalty area. Now Nicholas at least slowed the ball down, so now he can get goal side of Jack Stewart. Gibson, as the wind, it's a particularly harsh gust of wind right in our faces. And then Bakmaz ruled by Reece Edwards, assistant on the nearest side, to have not kept the ball in play. Jordan, as Sean Simmons starts to overlap. And Jordan is going to go himself, and he couldn't squeeze himself between two Spirit defenders, but Spirit trying to keep that alive. It ends up as a goal kick, so that was good shepherding there. If you missed it at the top of the broadcast, there were two games played yesterday in NPL Men's New South Wales. So it was Sydney Olympic defeated Sydney FC by 3-1, and Rockdale Illingdon defeated Central Coast Mariners by 2-1. And the women's game played as the first part of this Spirit women's and men's doubleheader. It was Illawarra Stingrays defeating Spirit by 2-1 there. Flags up again. Of course, as I look at my clock, so soon, if you are the kind of person that likes to a multi-screen, very soon you'll be sport for choice, because you'll have the 3 7 p.m. games to choose from. Hills versus Blacktown, the Derby at Land's End, called by the Adonis Will Gotsis. Also Western City Wanderers versus Marconi Stallions, called by the man they call Pretty Boy, Alexander Molchanov. And there's also St. George FC versus Southern Sharks at 7 p.m. Then at 7:15 p.m, well, as Ben Gibson needs to get back on side. That's a nice run from Eddie Caspers, and then the reverse pass to Gibson. The first touch, he takes a tumble, but yes, he's never getting to that ball. It's pretty easy for Marquez to gather possession. But yes, if for some reason there's a viewer that has 6 screens, or is at least willing to use their screens to bring up 6 windows, I suppose theoretically you could try and watch 6 games at once from 7:15 p.m. onwards, because the latest of the 2 kickoffs for round 15, Manly United versus Wollongong Wolves, called by the People's Champion Nicholas Kutniak, and there's also St. George City versus Sydney United 58. By the way, keep an eye out, obviously for all our match reports, including the one for this game done by Liam O'Sullivan, as Josh Simmons takes possession from Anthony Bizanis. Header from, actually touch up the chest, very calm from Carl Shaw, but especially keep an eye out for the St. George City versus Sydney United 58 match report done by long-time Football New South Wales reporter Justin Smith, who's in attendance at Penshurst Park. Certainly hope the wind isn't as bad there as it is here. Now, that's Dakota Askey. When you're wearing the short shirts and gloves combination, I suppose maybe you wonder if those gloves made it easier for Stephen Lucas to pick up that he was holding Ollie Wiggins' jersey with both hands. Anyway, free kick. And Cornwell. Nice switch to Wigan. Now, Askew. Wigan's beaten him, and now across, it's bending away from everybody in a goal jersey. So, goal kick. By the way, might as well confirm the 2 lineups. 2 two lineups while we're waiting for Anthony Bazanis to restart. So yes, for Spirit, in goal, number 1, Chris Marquez. 4 at the back, which is number 8, Grant Cornwell on the right, number 13, Simon Nicholas on the left, and in the centre, number 3, Carl Shaw, and number 16, Ante Bakmaz, although Bakmaz is stepping into midfield when Spirit secure possession. But also in midfield for Spirit, number 20, Jared Lum, number 10, Michael Constable is kind of the furthest forward of that midfield, generally speaking, and also number 4, Jared McKinley. Now, Ben Gibson, he gets away from the gold jerseys, and it's not the contact you might have expected from a player who scored 12 times this season. But credit to Chris Marquez, did what goalkeeping coaches tell you to do. He came out, stayed big, and closed down the angle. But yes, the rest of that Spirit formation out wide. Well, on the left, number 11, Ollie Wigan. On the right, number 7, Richard Darker, although they may swap those two from time to time. And furthest forward, at the point of attack and challenging for this right now, number 17, Jacob Chidiak. But that is a great header from Temple Guatemala, as you would expect from a man as large as Guatemala is. And Gibson pressing, Marquez scooping it almost. That's a decent first touch. Spirit can go forward with McKinley. One number 4's pass cut out by the other number 4, Josh Simmons. Yes. And Darko able to wrangle it back for Spirit. Now Nicholas. Wigan, Darko. Darko, he's tracked by Segreto. Now McKinley. McKinley looks to dink it. So there's a Spirit header. Josh Simmons needs to clear as far as he can. And Sean Simmons end up against his old corner flag. And they'll get out of the corner as well. So potential counter-attacking opportunity for APIA with Rory Jordan, tonight's goal scorer. Space in the middle for Segreto, so that's where it goes. And Segreto, stop. That's a nice tackle just outside the Spirit box.
Two touch, keep it moving.
Now, well, Askew might step in here. Darko ruled to have gotten the ball, but Askew has it anyway. He's in a central position. Rory Jordan tries the cross. Jack Stewart had space on the other side of the box. Ball was not allowed to get to it. Good clearance from Nicholas. Now, maybe I want to get a chance. Actually, I should do the APIA lineup again, but they're on the move with Achino. Now Stewart. He's 1-on-1, gets into the box. Stewart left-footed, and it was between the legs. That can be difficult for a goalkeeper, but Marquez falls on the ball. Just to clarify that APIA lineup, so there's no subs have been made, although we are getting to the point where coaches do like to make substitutions. But yes, in fact, I think Franco Parisi has sent David Deputzo over to the APIA substitutes who are off-frame to our right, so we might see changes very soon. But for now, the APIA 11 out there. In goal, number 1, Anthony Bazanis. Left back, number 16, Sean Simmons. Right back, number 23, Dakota Askew. In the center of defense, number 15, Temba Guatemala. And number 4, Josh Simmons. In midfield, the captain, 18, Adrian Achino. Number 22, Eddie Caspers. And number 17, Jordan Segreto. And in attack, number 11, Rory Jordan on the left. Number 7, Jack Stewart on the right. And number 9, Ben Gibson at centre forward. It's pretty good when you look at the stats. That front three, APIA Leichhardt. Trying to do maths on the run, always a bit of a risk. But that's Stewart. That's Stewart, Gibson, Jordan front three. Maths on the run, it's always a bit of a risk. I think they've combined for 25 goals now this season because of Jordan's goal near the end of the first half. And they've got Segreto playing in midfield who scored 6 of his own. Now Gibson going left, and he shoots, but it's over everything. So, shout out in advance to the Spirit volunteer who will need to retrieve that ball from behind that building at the end of the game. Wigan going backwards and outnumbered. So Jack Stewart, who finds Segreto. And Segreto into the box. Segreto has the shot blocked by Simon Nicholas. It will be a corner kick. The joys of having a notebook. The wind is kind of messing up with my plans to read notes during commentary. Oh well. Now. Segreto will think about how he'll deliver this flag kick. It's flat and, well, Josh Simmons had beaten everyone to it. He had, I think, the first real clear-cut chance of the game. Josh Simmons again escaping defensive attention at a set piece. Shot goes wide. Constable. Wigan. Now McKinley has dropped a little bit deeper. There's no fluidity. I mean, McKinley, I think they are taking their turns to see who's furthest forward. The Spirit is actually Constable and Lum at the moment, so Spirit trying to use those rotations and drag defenders out of position. Now, Josh Simmons clears charge down, goal kick.
Set up high! Go, 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 go! Lenny. Go!
Now, Guatemala going long. Carl Shaw, they have to get the jump on Gibson. It goes sideways. Cornwell sweeping it up. Now Wigan resumes his battle with Askew. Back to Cornwell as APIA gets everyone behind the ball.
Come on, Russell! Stop giving away the ball!
As Gibson tries to be the target forward there. Carl Shaw gets his frame in the way well, breaks up the attack. That's APIA with another interception now. Flags up. This was wondering about that, but the flag's up from Reese Edwards, offside against Ben Gibson. Here's Simon Nicholas. By the way, playing against his old club, I do believe, fairly recently. 3 years ago? No, my bad. 2 years ago, he did spend a season with APIA Leichhardt. Now, Nicholas very much a firm fixture on the left-hand side of the Spirit backline. Shaw to Cornwell. And it's just not quite sticking for Spirit at the moment. But now Gibson, he's got plenty of speed and he's into the box. Ben Gibson, might get a second if actually doesn't, because firstly, credit to Chris Marquez for the positioning and the one-on-one save, which keeps the score at 1-0 to APIA. And then the ball didn't break for Gibson on the rebound. Now Richard Ducker. McKinley, outside of the foot. Actually, that's a nice pass, all things considered, to find Wigan. McKinley again. Now it's going to be over Chidiac. Are we going to see subs soon? No one's got the bib off just yet. But yeah, just a reminder of those sets of substitutes. Players we might see later on. For Spirit, we've got Jacob Sullivan, Zachary Chanchi, the newly minted futsal Luis Lobo, Noah Peacock, Kaya Williams, as well as the backup keeper Joel Wade, by the way. If you watch a lot of football on Australian television, you say, Peacock, huh? Yeah, that is Adam's son. So, well done to Noah Peacock. He scored his first senior goal for Spirit recently. The APIA bench, you've got Nicholas Atzone, Michael Kuda, Jack Armson, Alex Denby, Luigi DeTroya, and the backup keeper Alexander Parks. Now, Askew thought about making the run inside. Now he'll stay back and support as Stewart delivers low to the near post. He has caused havoc with a few of those that type of delivery. Right, not this time. Easy for Marquez. As the drizzle's starting again. At least you can see from the floodlights it's more or less falling vertically, so the wind stopped for now. By the way, soon we'll see number 41 Nicolas Arzoni and number 14 Jack Armson, but here's a move for Spirit as Condestable's attempted pass to Darko is sent to temporary safety. It's only temporary, and that ball overhit Jared Lum, the target. Yep, so we'll see the substitution now. So of course, going to keep an eye. Players can leave the field from any old place these days. But Jack Stewart kind of making it easy on my aging eyes. Actually, no, he's not being subbed, so. I mean, oh no, actually, no, they've. Hang on. This will be Jordan Cigaretto. Looks like he's making way. George Segretto, one of the players making way. Dakota Askew, the other. So looks like Nicolas Arzoni will replace Dakota Askew as APIA's right back. Jack Armson, a straight top for Segretto in central midfield. And Jack Armson, who is... Sorry, I was distracted by another plane flying overhead. Jack Armson, very energetic. I mean, kind of player who could go up and down the field for 90 minutes, so he could be especially impactful, Jack Armson, in the remaining 25 minutes or so. And speaking of impact, here's Rory Jordan in behind the defense with the runners arriving for APIA. Cuts it back. Here's Sean Simmons, and I think just a little bit off balance. But he did enough to win that corner kick. Well, by my very manual tally, that's 3 APIA corners, although I feel like I missed one now that I think about it. Now, actually, Spirit trying something different. There's calculated risk being taken here. They've left 3 up for this set piece. Of course, that means APIA have to leave more players back. And the delivery comes in. Josh Simmons again the target. Doesn't quite get to it. And now, is this a counter-attacking opportunity for APIA as the drizzle starts to fall sideways? Nicholas, I think the winds made that very difficult to play that pass. Subs coming up. In fact, by the way, shout out to you, Dale, listening in. Yes, just clarifying the sound is coming in better. But yes, so Michael Condestable, of course, still working his way back to full fitness in a sense. It's been a pretty good shift for him as we're midway through the second half now. And Spirit's number 10 replaced by number 21, Luis Lobo. And Lobo trying to be the attacking all-star for Spirit as they look to find a way back into this context. And it's gone back. It's gone back towards, oh, it'd be a Spirit free kick. Just thinking, I'm watching the stream on our laptop as we speak, just in case I need to check something. But with this rain coming in sideways, I'm going to try and put my body between the drizzle and my laptop. It's a very important piece of machinery. Quick 1-2 there between Wigan and Bakmaz. And Bakmaz will have to settle for the throw. So trying to protect my notebook from all this moisture, this unwanted moisture. Now, Spirit. I think it's not even a free kick. APIA wanting a card. Steve Lucas, in a sense, splitting the difference, going somewhere between those two things. It's going to be an APIA free kick. Plenty, as usual, plenty of planes flying overhead tonight, similar to if you call a game at Illingdon Sports Centre. Or I assume Barton Park, St George FC's new ground, will be similar. It's nearby. Of course, there is Fraser Park. Sometimes we broadcast a League One men's match of the round there. That's very close to the flight path. In fact, I mean, you could say this park is on the... This ground is on the flight path. Fraser Park's almost on the runway, let's be honest. Gibson sends it back to Azzone, the newly introduced player for APIA. And Gibson keeps his feet well and almost got past 3 Spirit players. Then Casper's trying to kind of barge his way into the box. It's cleared to safety. Now, it's Azzone. And then sort of a miss-hit clearance there, which allows APIA to gain some territory. So, I see no change really to the general approach from Franco Parisi's side. And then, well, flags up Reese Edwards. What he's waving for a Spirit free kick. I wonder why. Might have possibly handball. It didn't look like Gibson actually was too physical against any Spirit player. Maybe it was a handball. Anyway, the most important thing is a Spirit free kick. We restart by Nicholas going back to Marquez. That's a good first touch from Chidiac. He's fouled. Yeah, just kind of drifted into a pocket of space there. Received the ball well and had APIA kind of scrambling enough so that they would concede a free kick. Shaw, Chidiac again. Now Josh Simmons. And Josh Simmons, well, there's I think the hand up in recognition from Jordan, who'd made another darting run in behind the Spirit defense. That pass from Josh Simmons was an overhead. Into the final 20 minutes here. Still Spirit 0, APIA 1 in round 15 of NPL Men's New South Wales. And so Rory Jordan with a very tidy, very nice goal just before half-time. It's what has APIA Leichhardt, for now, on the way to a 6th consecutive victory, but plenty can change. And this is a venue that has seen a lot of late goals in recent times. APIA around on the cover there. There's Bakmaz looking for Jared Lum.
6 seconds, win it back. 6 seconds, win it back.
See, thanks to, of course, this very almost intimate filming position here, you can see Jack Stewart just reminding his teammates. 6 seconds to win it back. It does show you the challenge that is face Spirits they try to play out at all today, because APIA not really willing to give him any kind of room, and they're certainly fit enough to keep this going for the whole 90 minutes. Neat back heel there from Wigan. And Lum looking for Bakmaz. Bakmaz again. There's a wide option, which I think is... my eyes, I have no idea what's happening there. I'm sorry. If it's near the scoreboard, I can't really help you. Chidiac, Bakmaz. Might be Luis Lobo, actually, now that I think about it. He's actually... Luis Lobo, the replacement for Connor Starbo. He's gone wide. Richard Darko, who started out wide, has gone more central. It's Nicholas running in field. He's found Jared Lum. And Lum. He's dispossessed by Eddie Casper, stealing in from the blind side there. And Guatemala under pressure from Darko there. So it's Gibson, first time layoff to Azzone, overlapping from right back. He's got runners, one of them Stewart. It's a tight angle, too tight. Corner kick. Bakmaz around on the cover there. So, well, I mean, NPL does traditionally run 5 to 7 minutes late. So I'm not sure if those 7 p.m. games are underway, but the multi-screeners out there should have plenty of action to feast on in NPL Men's New South Wales. If not now, then very soon. There's those 3 7 p.m. kickoffs. Hills versus Blacktown, St. George FC versus Sutherland, and Wanderers versus Marconi. It's the delivery from Armson, and another flat low one. Spirit strong at the near post. Armson crosses again, and oh, it's mishit, and then across the face of goal. Heart palpitation stuff for the Spirit faithful. It will be APIA's 5th, possibly, corner of the game. But first, it's an APIA player that will need treatment. Actually, no, he will not. Sean Simmons decides he's going to try and walk it off. So APIA don't need to be short-handed for any length of time. Again, Spirit with 3 up at this APIA corner, so APIA have to leave 4 back to defend them. Of course, Spirit are chasing the game into the final quarter of an hour now. Again, near post that is the target. Again, Spirit stand firm. Jordan. Jordan, nice change of pace and change of direction. Spirit defending, and it's good shepherding as well as Marquez comes across to gather the ball. Chidiac. He's outnumbered by Marone as Josh Simmons, I think, in the process of getting back from that attack. Now it's Jack Stewart. And Stewart is the second defender, Jared McKinley, who helps out the Spirit that time. Now scooping it towards Darko. Guatemala gets there first. Sean Simmons. And he's gone on another adventure down the left. A little scoop pass from Jordan. As good covering, possibly from Cornwell, there on the scoreboard side of this ground. Now there's the pass, and Marquez, well, didn't want to take the risk of waiting for it to come into his box, so Marquez heading it away. APIA try again with Armson and Sean Simmons. Now, Rory Jordan plays it back outside the box. Looks like that might be Stewart with a decent cross, and Gibson, it's up for grabs, and Ben Gibson has made it 2-0. And a little bit of breathing room for APIA Leichhardt. Ben Gibson's 13th of the season. Unlucky for Spirit, but very, very nice for APIA. He was aggressive in the initial header, and Ben Gibson beating keeper and defender to the ball. The scraps fell his way, and it was a fairly simple finish to put the visitors into a 2-goal lead. And at least for a brief time, actually no. Well, trying to do a live table on the fly, definitely not recommended, but it is at the moment Rockdale. At the moment, Rockdale in the lead courtesy of last night's win. If this score holds, APIA Leichhardt will move into second for the time being, pending anything that happens, pending what happens at Wanderers versus Marconi, which should have kicked off by now. Well, my live score up. Hills versus Blackdown has not kicked off yet, according to that, although Wanderers Marconi and St. George FC versus Sutherland have. Now Jack Chanchi on for Spirits. I think he's the third player to join the fray. Actually, Kyle Williams, number 36, is on as well. So it's Williams, number 36, and Chanchi, number 18. They're the two newest introductions for David Perkovic's side. Lum. And defended by Sean Simmons. So Jordan got plenty of room. And everyone, both teams charging to from left to right as we look at things. Jordan drifts inside. Great first touch from Gibson. Good save from Chris Marquez. Stewart. And Stewart. A clip ball. Flags up. Flags up. Drizzle's come back. Time to protect my laptop again. It's only 9 minutes plus stoppages. Be too much longer. Thanks. APIA getting ready to make subs. I think I see Michael Kuda and Luigi Troya getting ready to enter the fray. Who came off? So Richard Darker, one of the players. I think he's the one that's been replaced by Zach Chanchi. As APIA win it. And in the middle third. Now McKinley for Spirit. Stewart followed all the way by Nicholas, but then Stewart was able to turn his defender. It almost threaded the eye of the needle there, Jack Stewart. Very smooth work. Spirit survived. Now Chanchi. Nicholas to McKinley, and Carl Shaw had to hurry. Got there ahead of Rory Jordan. McKinley has a little bit of space. Chidiak found him with the pass. McKinley to Chanchi. Chanchi curls one. It's a little half clearance. Here's Jared Lum. Shots blocked. Shots blocked. Now APIA player, possibly Eddie Caspers, might need a little bit, might need some treatment. So we have Stephen Lucas just checking on his welfare. So talk about 7 p.m. kickoffs, of course, at 7:15 p.m. from Cromer Park. It's Manly United versus Wollongong Wolves, called by the People's Champion Nicholas Kutniak. There's also St George City versus Sydney United 58 from Penshurst Park. So, a schedule of 7:15, maybe for a brief time, a very brief time, we'll have 6 games going at once in NPL Men's New South Wales. As we go around the grounds, a couple of goals already at the ground. One of my friends calls the Rudy Hill Turf Farm. Shout out to Megan. It's early days at Wanderers HQ, but it's Wanderers 1, Marconi 1. So Ben Gibson, another goal to add to his tally. 13 for the season now in the league. Ben Gibson replaced by Luigi Di Troia. So Michael Kuda has come on as well for possibly Sean Simmons. I think that would be the most straightforward choice, with Michael Kuda slotting in at left back. I think I will see Sean Simmons make his way back to the APIA technical area fairly soon. Guatemala does well, timed it well, stepping out of the back line to win the ball. Now, Caspers. McKinley gets his foot in there. Josh Simmons, and there's the hand up from Detroit. Detroit has Stewart for support. And the room ever decreasing. They'll settle for the throw, wins it off Nicholas. Well, if you are sticking around, if you are intending to watch Hills versus Blacktown after this one, I'm actually going to go there as well. As a catch up with Theodonis Will Gotsis is calling that game, the reporter for that game, Justin Davies, the Hills United ground announcer Dave McDonald as well. So it's an interesting one with Dave McDonald. Kind of supports both Hills and Blacktown. He's the Hills United ground announcer, but a long-time Blacktown City fan and a long-time supporter of all things Hills as well. This is a somewhat awkward one for Dave this evening, but at least he's there, because he wasn't doing the ground announcing for Hills United last week when Hills played APIA. He prioritised his cricket club's presentation over that. And there were some folk at the club who told me to roast Dave in the commentary for that game, and I most certainly did. APIA free kick. In advance, before I forget, yes, we did have some technical difficulties. Shout out to tonight's camera operator Nicholas, who's braved really terrible, well, typically terrible conditions here at the Arctic Circle, and has also had to troubleshoot on the fly. But yeah, don't worry, we can almost go home, Nicholas. Well, it's almost over. Yes, that's right. It was Sean Simmons who was the player that is being replaced by Michael Kuda. Set piece coming up. There's the signal. It goes far post. Too far for all APIA players. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Dale, who's listening in very patiently putting up with this commentary. But yeah, sure, it turns out Spirit's Jared Lum, friend of a friend for both he and the woman known as alternatively the MacArthur Martyr or the Queen of Sports Journalism, whoever you want, Samantha Lewis. Ah, there you go. Sam Lewis actually involved in Football New South Wales competitions when she came off the bench for our beloved Flying Bats Tuesday night in the Sapphire Cup. The Bats were defeated by Sydney University. That's a nice turn by Jared Lum. And then the touch of Adzone's head to Nicholas. He stands and delivers, and good command of the 6-yard box from Anthony Bazanis. Now we're going to see I think that's got to be the 5th subs for either side. So Alex Denmead ready to come on. So is Noah Peacock. Is it Denmead coming on for APIA? Or about to. Noah Peacock about to come on for Spirit. I wonder, do nicknames transfer from father to son? So, in other words, is Noel Peacock known as Feathers sometimes, just like his dad Adam Peacock is? I don't know. Might have to ask someone from Spirit that at some point. Anyway, here are the subs. It's been a tireless shift from Jared McKinley. Hard, I think, kind of so to speak, as the underdog up against a team going as well as RPR. He gets an early mark of a couple of minutes or so. Jacob Chidiak, sorry, not Jared McKinley. Jacob Chidiak is off, replaced by Noah Peacock. And Rory Jordan, the player who scored the opening goal, his 6th of the season, he's replaced by Alex Denmead. I mentioned the Sapphire Cup, probably worth going back to it because these two clubs are in that as well. Spirits are through to the 4th round of the women's knockout competition for Football New South Wales clubs. From memory, a 5-0 win over Locomotive Cove. That was here, I believe, at the Arctic Circle. APIA Leichhardt defeated Blackhand Spartans 3-0 in their round 3 game, so they're through to round 4. And if you're a women's football fan, and if not, why not? The Sapphire Cup draw, round 4 draw, I think that'll be released. Well, might have to wait like another week or so before Football New South Wales release that. Now that's something to chase for Denmead. He keeps it in right in front of the scoreboard. Almost into the final minute of time added on. Oh, sorry, not final minute of regulation time, my bad. And that's Pacino pinged for handball.
We're live.
Can Spirit jag the goal that could at least make the final couple of minutes a bit more nervous for APIA. As Simmons steps out from back. Nice touch on the ball to find Stewart. Stewart. He shoots, but blocked. He was tracked well there by Nicholas. That's been an interesting battle, especially in the second half. Or maybe it's just more interesting. Maybe I just found it more interesting in the second half because it's nearer to me so I can actually see it this time. That's actually good work from Carl Shaw. Bending his run as a defender to block that run from Jack Armson. He wins the free kick as well. 4th official Blake Sanchez-Cruz signals a minimum of 2 minutes time added on to end this one. APIA trying for a third, and they might get the shot away here. I think it's Michael Kuda overlapping from left back, so yeah, still getting the defenders to join the attack when they can, APIA, and they've won a late corner kick. signal. Will we see one more goal on this very chilly evening? Again, it's the near post, and again, it's cleared. Second chance to deliver. Again, Spirit get to the cross first. Moata Malo plays it back to Atzone. Stewart. And the cross. Carl Shaw heads away. Peacock with a look over the shoulder. Moata Malo, I think, does enough to make sure Atzone gets it. Now Kudo, that's always a tricky one in the swirling wind. He's done well to find Denmead. And Denmead, winner, a late free kick. Will we have enough time to play it? Might as well start shouting out tomorrow's women's games for one last time. I was shouting out the coverage on Football New South Wales. So yeah, 4:40 p.m. tomorrow. The Old Farm, Bulls FC Academy versus Macarthur Rams from Northridge Oval. And I'll go through the rest of them, I think, after this set piece. But I'll be calling. Oh no. Let's wait for this set piece first. Header from Kyle Williams, and that is that. So it's APIA Leichhardt's 5th consecutive win in the league and 6th consecutive victory in all competitions. They've come to the Arctic Circle, but they weren't frozen out. They defeated Northwest Sydney Spirit by 2-0. They opened the scoring near the end of the first half by a great goal from Rory Jordan, helped by an equally great assist from the captain Adrian Uchino, and Ben Gibson scored his 13th goal of the season, and APIA second of the evening to make the point safe. We hope you stick around. The games coming up, especially the derby, Hills United versus Blacktown City, called by Will Gotsis. That's on right now. There's also on right now Wanderers versus Marconi, called by Alexander Molchanov. St George FC versus Sutherland. Man United versus Wollongong, called by Nicholas Kutniak. And St George City versus Sydney United 58. Then tomorrow, the NPL TV in the women's comp, 4:40 p.m. Bulls FC Academy versus Macarthur Rams. At 5 p.m. I'll be calling a game between the team that broke my heart by eliminating the Flying Bats from the Cup, Sydney University. They're travelling to the league leaders, Manly United. Also at 5 p.m. tomorrow, University of New South Wales versus Northern Tigers, called by Mel Muscat. Sydney Olympic versus Gladesville Ravens, called by Nicola Posner. Blacktown Spartans versus Football New South Wales Institute, called by Duckman, Matthew Austin. And then at 7:15 p.m. tomorrow, APIA Leichhardt versus Emerging Jets. There's also the League One women's match of the round tomorrow, Sunday 3:15 p.m. from Sir Ian McLennan Oval. And Sax boy Thomas Phillips will call South Coast Flame versus Mount Druitt Town Rangers. So you've got plenty of choice, as always, for you this weekend. But this is Eric Subihano signing off for the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Thanks for your support. Hope you have plenty of good vibes, great coffee, sick tattoos, razzlers, and most importantly, we hope you stay warm and dry, because that's not what I failed to do this evening. See you next time.